Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope you have a great day and a great Easter/weekend. So, Twitter recap, we will go through what I have been posting on X. And again, if you want to follow me, you can do it on X. If you want to know more, Substack at uselinkinv. Become a subscriber, see what we're doing, and we try to play the commodities bull market the best way we can. With that said, let's dive into the business here. Let's dive into the stuff. So, so here we have to get down to technicals. It's only technical charting that I want to show here on these in these videos. Coffee here from GDXJ, very clean setup here. And look at the horizontal level here at roughly 340. Bull flagging, tagged it. Yes, we did a little bit of a overthrow here to the downside, but overall, really strong coffee chart. And if you zoom out on the 50-year 60-year view, we have broken that half a century um, channel. So long term, again, these are daily candles. If you go to the 3 monthly candle, for instance, coffee wants to go way, way, way higher from here. I completely agree. Very, very clean setup here. If you look at it from a broader view, really good. Cocoa has done tremendously well. Cocoa was one of my biggest calls back in 2022, I think it was. I messed up the trade a little bit because I thought we would get a pullback at its recent triangle high. We did get one. It was tiny, tiny, but then something broke and we just basically short squeezed all the way up to here, boom, very, very quickly. And yeah, now we're stuck with this triangle pattern here. The lows are very much aligned with the uptrend. The highs are here. Could we have some sort of cup and handle continuation here where we're actually, if we break, we could be pointing to roughly 20K. Yeah, I mean, Coco, it's not looking too shabby. A little bit of weakness here at the support, given we have a little bit of a bear flag vibe here, but until that is proven, it's still overall looking quite decent for Coco. But let's see. Let's see how that performs. This is Tom here, a stock, a Danish shipping stock. So basically, it had a massive surge in 2022, peaked at roughly 300. So it went from like 100 to 300, and now it's testing that channel again. Look at that beautiful reaction so far um, on that shipping stock. Speaking of shipping, we have the BDI, that is the Baltic Dry Index. So still in favor of the Baltic Dry Index when looking at the weekly time frame. There's still nothing in favor, sorry, because I want to see that yellow trend line getting broken before anything bullish can happen. And the big moment comes, let's say we break the yellow here, we tag the orange, we could have a pullback there and then break on the fourth. That's the big long-term entry. And then you play triangle high, potentially channel high as well, based from that. Again, there is resistance here as well at roughly 3,500 or so. But these are the big three targets. That one there, the big triangle high, and then potential channel high. But again, you need to wait for that to break in order for that to happen. So now the shipping sector doesn't look fantastic. Makes sense, right? It does make sense. The SIL divided by silver weekly candlesticks. I added the Bollinger Band. When I don't post charts or do videos or whatever, I have very often the Bollinger Band on because I had that in my early days. So I'm very, very confident with the Bollinger Band, and it gives me extra, what's it called? Certainty that when I see something good, I add the Bollinger Band. It gives me that extra confirmation. And this is a really good, really, really good Bollinger Band setup together with trend lines. So it's always great to see Bollinger Bands expansion after 2 years of sideways Bollinger Bands. So this is the sideways stuff. We're breaking, expanding, clearing trend lines horizontally, and the yellow one here. Now, this is silver miners breaking out against silver. That's actually quite a neat thing to see. We are fighting, however, this little cluster over here before we went down here. So let's see. But overall, Bollinger expansion, two trend lines broken, big ones. Not too bad. Yesterday, 7 setups in the uranium sector. I think there are some big channels that is about to be broken to the upside. Cameco, Denison, Oklo, SMR, and Energy Fuels. Check it out if you want to. Again, that is for members on the Substack here. And also here, I talked a little bit about lithium in another video. I think there will be entries done in 2025 in lithium, but we are not there yet. We still have some way to go before we get those signals. But again, and that is just a brief update of what I'm looking at and when we are very interested in lithium, but not right now. There's nothing for us at this moment in lithium. But given the setup, I think there could be in 2025 for sure. So the Dixie, 20 years of trend line here is getting tested very soon here. We have, again, you can see the highs here, tagged, breakout, back test, retest, and now we're here again. And it is roughly at 98.5, roughly. But overall, if you look at it from a longer term perspective, the Dixie is still okay. But again, we have seen a lot of short term turnaround and momentum down. That could easily, spill over to the longer term, especially if we start to take out, the trend lines here. Maybe if we added that trend line here to here, we have already broken it. I think we have. That might be one that I should add on because then it looks, a bit more bearish actually. But again, let's see how it reacts here at roughly the 100 level on the dollar index. Gold here, ideally we hold the green uptrend. If not, we ought to retest the blue, which was previously broken. So again, gold overall still strong on all time frames. When is the high coming in? Yeah, or when are we topping out? Very difficult when you have these kind of blow off top situations. But again, overall gold is still looking healthy. No, not healthy. That's a misconception because we are blowing off here at this move up here. But again, very difficult to time where we stand, where we top out when you have this kind of hockey stick to the upside. So, and don't get me wrong, I firmly believe that we are to be way higher in 2 years' time, 3 years' time than where we are today. But I'm also expecting at some point that we are to see that pullback where we get the 20% or whatever. Again, we're up 60% in a year, so that is truly amazing. This is some short-term stuff. Again, I want to show you here the silver divided by the Dixie. So we are measuring silver in relation to the dollar index. So not the dollar, but the dollar index. And we have basically closed the tariffs flush here where silver puked big time against, it puked big time overall. We basically attacked it here again. So now the news where we started to dump, that level has been reached, and that is often resistance. So, and we saw that again here today. Last one here, guys, which is the gold in world currency units. This is 1 monthly time frame. So we're looking at a 15-year chart here. Now, after the recent breakout, we are at 60% again in world currency units. I have no idea what I've said here, by the way. Anyways, forget about that. That is clearly me being drunk. You can see here we broke out from that. Yeah, blue rail here, massive surge, 65% from the breakout. And then we started a 4-year consolidation. We have now broken that again, and we have reached the 65. So again, we have done the exact same move here to the upside that we've seen previously. So is this the top? Again, difficult to say, but that is definitely some symmetry that is worth noting. Last one, I promise you, coal here is also something that we are very fond of on the Substack. We haven't had an entry in the coal, but we could have that when and if the cold futures break that blue wedge pattern. Currently, we are into support here. Huge backtest, massive breakout, right? And boom, backtest. At roughly $100 is that level, give or take. So we are watching that like a hawk on the weekly time frames to see if we can get some bullish setup or bullish vibes into that. That's all I have, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this. Do as you may, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Have an amazing day. Cheers.